Hey gang, it's JC and this is your Daily Dose for Wednesday, June 16th, 2010. A cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. We are here every day. Some shit-for-brains accountant thought this was a good idea to pull me off the air and pay me for a year and a half without doing a radio show every day. So here we are, twisting by the pool. You can check out our archives by going to the top of the page and hitting the menu bar there. You can subscribe and get the audio for the Daily Dose on iTunes. And also, we got lots of new stuff coming. And by the way, Dave Murray in a couple of days is going to be having the weather forecast right here at jc'sdailydose.com. Speaking of Dave, you know, when there's a blinding rainstorm as there was yesterday, and the sky turns dark, and you have to slow down because you can't see where you're going, you're supposed to turn your headlights on. Matter of fact, there's a law in Missouri and Illinois that if your windshield wipers are running, your headlights are supposed to be on. So fucking do it already, will you? Thanks. Thank you. Big shakeup at St. Louis Magazine. As far as I know, this hasn't even been made public yet. Apparently just the staff knows about it, but the editor is quitting. So those of you who are out of work and know something about editing magazines, get your resumes over to Leslie and Ray at St. Louis Magazine. Thank me later. CNN has announced it may give disgraced former New York Governor Eliot Spitzer his own show on CNN. Blitzer and Spitzer? Really? Blitzer and Spitzer? Starting June 21st and running through September 21st, the highway troopers in St. Louis County and other places around St. Louis are tired of people using 270 as a NASCAR track. And so starting on the 21st and going for several months, they're going to start stepping up some sort of multi-unit police task force thing. And so if you're speeding or driving aggressively on 270, watch out starting on the 21st. All right, so yesterday afternoon, it's about 2:45, and I have to run into the Galleria. And I go scooting past CPK, and I look through the glass, and I see my buddy Brad Lefton in there, sports reporter. But he is a sports reporter for Japan. Now, this is a nice Jewish boy from West County, went to Ladue High School, but he started learning to speak Japanese, and so he was working as a So Taguchi's translator, and he does these video reports for the TV stations in Japan through this network called NHK and everything. He's been doing this for years. And so I figure I'll go in and I'll say hi to him, and I don't see the guy who's got his back to me. I walk up to the table, it's Ichiro. So Brad and Ichiro having lunch at CPK yesterday. Ichiro is an incredibly skinny guy. You have no idea how bony this guy is. I have no idea where he gets his power from. All right, maybe you've heard of this thing called chat roulette. If you spend a lot of time on the internet and you like to get off the beaten path a little bit, maybe you have even ventured into this. And basically somebody had the idea. They said, okay, so you dial up your www and then you just punch a button and somebody appears right there on your video screen, on their webcam, from their very own home, and it could be anybody from anywhere in the world. And it sounded like it might have a little potential. Oh, and that's sort of interesting. You just punch a button and there you go. Instantly connected via a video screen to anybody in the world. Well, the only problem was, pretty much all it was guys with their junk hanging out. And people would go, well, let's see, maybe I'll get somebody. I've always imagined what it would be like to talk to somebody in Sweden. And of course, you get some guy in Argentina with hair all over his back and his junk hanging out. Well, it turns out the guy who started this chat roulette thing is a 17-year-old kid from Moscow running this thing out of his bedroom. And starting very soon, he's announced he's going to be installing, are you ready for this? Anti-penis software. So if you get on chat roulette, and you got your junk hanging out, it's gonna take you off the internet. Yeah, I think that falls under that "what will they think of next" category. Tim Bachman, as in BTO, as in taking care of business, has been arrested on charges of sexually assaulting an 11-year-old girl. He's been working as a real estate agent up in Canada for the last few years. He turned himself in hearing on July 5th. All right, I want to talk a little bit about World Cup soccer. My buddy Tom Schwartz here in St. Louis, big soccer fan, and I'm a big friend of Tom, and you know, he knows better than to try to convert me into being a soccer fan. He knows I think soccer is bullshit, and I do. But, you know, and this is a big but. And I like big butts, and I cannot lie. I have no intention of defecating on your World Cup stuff. This is your big, excitement, and it's like the Super Bowl. It only happens every couple of years, and I know you guys women are really worked up about it if you're into soccer. So I'm not gonna, get all over you on it. I like soccer. I think it's bullshit. But even I watched a little bit of the soccer match on Saturday, and I still don't get it, but that's me. It turns out now that I'm not the only one who is really upset and just sort of like, I'm going to have an epileptic fit, and I'm not even an epileptic, but that buzzing is driving me nuts. And apparently the networks now are putting in software. They're going to basically filter out most of that buzzing noise, so the next time you watch soccer, you might have to deal with that. The ratings came out yesterday, and it turns out about 17 million viewers were watching that, and that got everybody all excited. I just got sprayed by my pool snake, see? Just when you think you got it made, your pool snake. Now you see how big this area is? I swear to God that fucking thing knows where I am and can spray me. Anyhow, that's neither here nor there. 17 million viewers for soccer, and a lot of people got all worked up going, see, soccer is a hit. See, soccer really is taking over the country. See, Americans really do love soccer. And it's like, hold it a minute. 17 million viewers on a Saturday afternoon? That's pretty good. American Idol on a Wednesday night, 23, 24 million, so don't get too excited. But let's put this in perspective. It's a one-time event. And so when you have something that takes on event status, you can't sustain that. So let's not get overly excited about it. I found some stats on soccer too, which don't paint a particularly attractive picture. 1 out of every 5 World Cup games Germany has played has been a tie. They've tied 19 of their 92 games. And a tie in baseball can be very exciting because it doesn't happen that often. And you get, Tim Lincecum against Adam Wainwright, and it's a, 1-1 tie going into the 9th inning. That's really, really exciting. But, too much of the time in soccer, there's nothing going on. The ball is just, see, here I go. I promised I wasn't going to do that. Every team that's played at least 7 World Cup games has tied at least once. The trophy, they call it the World Cup, it's not even a cup. The original trophy was a cup, but it was stolen in the 1970s and it was never found. The replacement isn't even a cup. It's 2 figures holding up a globe. So there's your World Cup. 1 out of every 7 World Cup matches ends in a 1-0 score. All right, I'll leave you alone. All right, we were talking about On Demand. That's not been around for a real long time, just a couple of years, but here are the top 20 all-time on-demand movies. Number 20, 27 Dresses. 10,000 BC, Fool's Gold at 18, National Treasure, Book of Secrets at 17, 17 again is number 16, that's very confusing. Yes Man at 15, Baby Mama is 14. If you haven't seen this movie, do yourself a favor and watch it. Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Steve Martin, Greg Kinnear, Dax Shepard steals every scene he's in. Baby Mama, I give it a tremendous recommendation. It's so friggin' hilarious. All right, he's just not that into you. Number 13, the book sucked and the guy who wrote it sucked, but the movie actually wasn't bad. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. Number 12, The Bucket List, awful at number 11. Juno at number 10, fabulous by the way. Bride Wars at number 9, Knocked Up at 8, overrated movie. Taken at number 7, Alvin and the Chipmunks. The Proposal at 5, 4 Christmases, Gran Torino at 3, Twilight number 2, The Hangover is number 1. All right, JC's Video Village this week goes back to 1988 for a Channel 5 news report that I did at 5 o'clock that had Corbin Burnson from LA Law. Anybody remember the 80s? Also a piece we did with Priscilla Presley. JC's Wayback Machine is a commercial from 1988 featuring Frank Opinion, and it's pretty funny. Not necessarily the news, Albert Pujols and Jose Oquendo. JC's Eye Candy. All right, there's nobody hotter in show business right now than Betty White. I don't have to tell you that. But back in the 1940s, she was hot in another way, and somebody else thought so too, because they took her picture topless and put it on some playing cards. We have that picture slightly edited for you on JC's Eye Candy today. Tomorrow, 4 ways you're ruining your dog, and also the top 10 things that bore women and the top 10 things that those bored women wish they were doing instead. In the meantime, that's your Daily Dose for Wednesday, June 16th, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. And in the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.